back in the farm. So this is night hours to check on the beds, like I usually do every night. So it's dark already. The cluster in place. So I was just trying to peek through to see how they are before I open up this whole space. So let me just show you guys what we have in here. I'll position this camera here while I open up this whole setup. Okay, so guys, let's see what we have in here, what's happening. So feet are down. Okay, they still have water in some end. So today was a vaccination day. So whenever I come into the pen after some hours, the first thing I do is to look around in case of any form of mortality. So that's the first thing I do, check for, and then the next will be feed level and also the water. So, but I think two of the water containers still have waters inside of them. Okay, the other one, all of them they still have water, but the one down there is halfway, and this one here is a little bit less than half, and the other one that is close to where the light more light source is almost down. So what I'll be doing now is to top up feeds in the feeders for them. Yes, that's what I'll be doing now, and then just maybe, okay, the water level I'll just allow it to be, because by tomorrow I'm going to be adding multivitamins to the water. So I allow this water to get exhausted because there's every tendency that the lights might go off before the whole water will be exhausted, but they need feed. So let me give them feed, top of their feeders. So there's no mortality in here. These guys are doing amazingly well. So by tomorrow morning, I'll be adding multivitamins to their water, and I'll be introducing a big feeder in this space. This space is wide enough, so I'll be introducing a big feeder for them. Then gradually we'll add more feeders, bigger feeders, because these smaller feeders will always be going off too early. And the next thing I might be doing is to reintroduce another transparent zinc so that the place will be more brighter for them during the day. See, when I open up this whole space without having to place them on a confined space for heat. Because right now they are still in brooding space, so I still need to give them some covered space. I need to place them in a covered space to conserve the heat a little bit for them. So right about now, I'll be powering the lights, the torch for them. Then I'll have to cover the space up. So we have our torch in here already. So there's a torch. Let me turn off this camera around. Torch lights. So this can carry them and they can feed from this. Although the light is not getting bright enough to some certain areas, but it should just be enough for them to feed with. And feeders are still few. The feeders are still few. But like tomorrow I'll be introducing a big feeder for them. And this space is just sufficient enough for them. So right about now, let me just cover this space up so that we get some warmth. I think the best position to position this torch should be down there. Yes, I have to position the torch down there. That is the best position for it. this is what it is after covering this space. So this is all for this night. Tomorrow morning I'll get to share with you guys updates of what's happening here. So bye for now. Please watch the video to the very end, sorry. Please watch the video to the very end and follow through. It's a beautiful morning, so it's time to check on these guys. I know they must have been having some lights penetrating from that end, so it must have helped them to eat even when the lights, even in the break of dawn. So let me just open up this whole setup. I had to use this stuff to cover this transparency because I didn't want the light, the touch reflection to come out to the open, because here it's an uncompleted building. That's window, and there are places, the open space where people can get to see the light source and start thinking that something is happening here to drag attention. Anything I want to drag attention here for security reasons, I was trying to avoid that. That's why I had to cover this transparent zinc with these materials. But with the break of dawn, there's some escape routes where lights can see penetrate inside for them. So let me just open up this whole setup and see how they are. Okay, like I normally do, I will just scout around and look out for any case of any mortality to pick it up. So right now, I discovered that the water are all exhausted and their feeds, we still have some leftover feeds in some of the feeders. Some of them are empty. So what I'll have to do first thing first is to give them feeds in all their feeders and also give them water, because I feel that they are very tasty. I feel they are tasty. Yes, I feel so. But before I will get my hands wet with water, okay, maybe I will give them water first because they feel very tasty. I'll give them water first. So let me just position this camera in a place where I know I can get a nice view of what's happening in here. Okay guys, I'll be mixing the multivitamins right about now. Let me show you guys. Mix the multivitamin I'm using. This is the multivitamin I'll be using. So I'll be adding these multivitamins to their water. So let me just position this camera here while I do those multivitamin mix. So at this stage, I get to know how to mix this in the right quantity for them without having to measure it with a teaspoon or with a scale. So from my eyesight, I know what's supposed to carry through. So I'll be mixing the multivitamin that's supposed to carry through for a 3 watering cans with this. So these are 4-liter drinkers. So the four of them is supposed to be 12 liters. It's quite small. So I'm going to be getting another watering can for them to make it full, because this tray is not going to be doing the job for 24 hours around the clock. So whenever you give your birds medication or vitamins like this, you need to make sure that you get to change it after 24 hours, whether it's finished or not. You just have to change it after 24 hours. So we have the waters positioned, 3 watering can mixed with vitamin. So the essence of adding this multivitamin for their water is to help their immune system and to help their bodies to absorb the vaccine that was taken and the stress of taking the vaccine. Before giving them the vaccine, we had to starve them of water, which was a bit stressful on them. So this is going to help with the stress and also to build up their immune system too as well. So right about now is the top of the feeds in the feeders for them, and we are done for this morning. So let me show you guys an overview of what we have here. So we have 3 watering cans in here, and how many feeders? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 feeders. I was supposed to introduce a big feeder for them today, but I think the feeders I have here, the feeds I have here would just not be enough to fill up the big feeder. So I just allow it to pass this night when I'll be bringing feeds. So I'll introduce the big feeder for them. So this should serve them till evening hours. Yes, this should serve them till evening hours. So at this point, I'll be covering up this whole spot, this whole space. So you guys just see an overview of what we have here. Overview of this is now. So by tomorrow, by this evening, I'll add a big feeder for them and spread a thin layer of feeds for them. So that will be all for today. See you guys tomorrow.